All right, we're live. Chris, how we doing?
Doing well tonight, Peyton. First day of classes today, so feels good to kind of get back into the rhythm. That's how you know Timberwolves basketball is coming. It's kind of I can feel it in the air now that we're back, kind of in the normal rhythm again, doing some new stuff. Feels good, man. I'm just so pumped for the preseason here coming up.
When do you know when the first game is?
I don't have the date of the first game. It's very early October though. I think
I think
it's
it's
first
October
week.
4th, maybe.
Yeah, first week of October. So it's coming up.
And just for the fans of the channel, Chris, where do you go to college? What's your major? Let's get some information on you.
Some Q&A.
Q
Yeah,
and
so they
A.
can
Instead of the
find me.
5 minute timer, we might as well just you just gotta ease into it. Let the people come in the stream.
Well, I go to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I am in my fourth and final year of school. After this, I will be gone. I am a consumer science major, hopefully minoring in sports communication that I will finish this year. So kind of what we're doing, I guess, a little bit.
And then what's a fun fact about yourself?
A fun
How many
fact
times have
about
you had to
me.
do this today on your first day of school? Do you do that
Oh,
in all your classes too?
yeah, the icebreakers at the table. A fun fact about me is you know what I usually say is I have a podcast is my go-to fun fact.
Do you
Just to
really?
kind of spread the awareness of the podcast. So
Dude, that's
um
funny. I never tell I don't really tell anyone about this, to be honest with you.
hey
Um,
man, it's good marketing. That's how you get your name out.
yeah, that is smart. My fun fact is always I'm from Wisconsin, but I don't like cheese.
Yeah, that is a fun fact for you. I know you're not a big cheese fan, which is really weird. I feel like because you're like the type of guy who eats cheese pizza and like
Yeah,
Cheez Its, but you don't like cheese. So
it
it's
just
like you
doesn't
like
it doesn't
it's
make any
it's
sense.
all meant, but that's how you know it's like you just know it's a mental roadblock to eat just normal cheese. You know you can do it, you just choose not to.
No, see, the thing is, I don't know if I can do it. I just choose not to. Yeah, I'm scared. So I think that's a perfect transition, Chris. In It's a perfect transition into Anthony Edwards' 2K ranking. And apparently, just talking me and you before on the Instagram Live, I don't know. I thought it was an 83. I thought that's what it came out with. But can you give us the scoop on what it actually is? And
Yeah,
you
so
know,
we were coming up with these topics on what is today, Wednesday. We were coming up with these on like Monday, and at the time there was leaks that Ant was an 83 and LaMelo was an 87 again. Um, 2K actually came out with some of the rate or with the ratings yesterday on Tuesday, a day after we made these topics, and Ant is an 86, so still one
wow.
below LaMelo. Um, but yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions. I don't know all the singular attributes that go into him being an 86. I'd have to imagine that a lot of that would come from probably a good layup rating, good speed, high vertical,
Oh, yeah.
improved 3 point shot. So I mean, he's got a lot of room to grow within the overall realm.
Yeah, so with 83, I mean, I was pissed. And first of all, I'd like to say I don't like 2K. I mean, I always buy it every year, but the game itself, it's just, it's kind of sad that that's our only NBA game and the lack of effort they put into it. But when I saw 83, I was pissed. I was like, how the heck are you going to tell me Anthony Edwards, one of the next big superstars in the league, is an 83? And I was going to recommend him, hey, probably 86, 87, maybe work his way up to an 89. I don't think he's a 90 level player. So honestly, 86, I mean, I don't know how he's lower than Melo, but if you take Melo's rating out of there, I think 86 to start the season is probably pretty good, honestly. I'm not too mad about that, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know one thing that goes into the overalls heavily is awareness. So I think maybe that's where LaMelo's beating him. Maybe he has more on-court awareness with his passing ability. I mean, I feel like I feel like Ant as a person has a lot to grow in that aspect, on-court awareness. Would you
Yes.
agree with that?
I mean,
I,
basketball IQ, on-court awareness, all
yeah,
those areas
yeah.
are not Anthony Edwards' strong suit. Yeah, he's got a lot of strong suits, but I'd say yeah, those are not them.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm okay with the ratings. I have no qualms, as one would say.
Who would say that? That's my question. Who would say qualms in a in a
Yeah,
in a in a real sentence? I don't know.
but
You.
what we can also do is, 'cause I'm sure we have a few more minutes left, is I can, if I remember correctly, I can go through some more of the lineup I know most of the main guys what they have. So we got Cat coming in again this year, and this is low in my opinion, at an 89.
Yeah, that's low as
I
hell.
think he should be 90, 91. I think he should join the 90s club. The next you have Rudy Gobert at an 88. I think it's pretty fair. Fair rating.
Well, what'd
I
you say it
think
was again?
Rudy Gobert 88.
Okay.
So below Cat. D'Lo, I believe, was an 82, which is honestly kind of generous after that postseason run. And then Jaden was actually this was the bad one here. Came in at a 76.
That's
I
offensive.
think
I'm
I think
offended. by it.
he's got a lot of room to improve. And 2K also listed Kyle Anderson as a starter, and his rating is a 79. So there's your top six right there. What do you think of that?
Well, dude, 2K does the Wolves dirty every single year. I know you can't see what we're streaming right now, Chris, but the picture that I chose was Anthony Edwards' picture from last year where he's hanging on the rim.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, honestly, it's horrible. Like, it literally looks nothing like Anthony Edwards. He better have a face scan this year.
He does.
Does
he
he?
has a face. He's confirmed Anthony Edwards has a face scan this year. He's not a. We'll have to change our Twitter handle for a bit. I think the picture was him hanging on the rim, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just the funny, like, and every time you play, like, 2K, it's just the lack of detail they put into the Timberwolves roster. Like, D'Lo's hair is, like, his same hair that he had when he was on, like, the Golden State.
They never have the right gear on either.
Yeah, like Anthony, like I'm a big gear guy. Like I don't know, I pay attention to that stuff. And Anthony Edwards is always wearing like Nike shoes. I feel like that's a violation of some contract. Like for them to have him in Nike shoes and just I don't know. And like it's just the lack of detail that's put into that game is.
I think the discrepancy of rating between Kyle Anderson at a 79 and Jaden McDaniels at a 76 is interesting. I don't know if one should go down or if one should go up or if it's a little bit of both. What do you think on that one?
Well, dude, I don't think we can like really comment on Kyle Anderson yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't know his game well enough. Like I made fun of him a lot last year.
And like that Shaq meme.
Yeah, that's literally all I remember was just making fun of him. I don't really know his game well. But Jaden, I don't hate the Sorry, I gotta fix the timer here. I don't hate Jaden being a 76. I mean, it definitely should go up, but I'm used to him not having the respect of the league.
Fair enough. What we got up next? I kind of forgot the topics. I know we went through them before, but
yeah. So we're actually going into the big announcement here.
The big announcement.
The big announcement that you texted me, and I was confused. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really been too present on Wolves Twitter, Wolves Instagram, any of that. And you text me like the big announcement on 9/6. I was like, shit, what's that gonna be? First of all, I didn't know it was coming from the Target Center Twitter account, which I don't even know why they have a Twitter. That's weird to me. But just kind of go into what the hell it is.
Yeah, so I don't know when it came out on Sunday, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, like what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be jerseys? Is it gonna be like a new court?" And I'm like, guys, it's the Target Center that's tweeting this. You think if we were getting new uniforms, it would be the actual Timberwolves account that's tweeting this. So when I saw the ant, because there was ants all over, my mind immediately went to like, oh, it's gonna be like, I thought it was gonna be like an ant partnership with Target or something like that, something in that realm. I knew it wasn't going to be anything on court with the team.
Oh, like Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like an Ant Target partnership. But then looking at some comments, someone said Dave Matthews Band, and I'm like, oh, like Ants marching. That would make sense. They haven't been to the venue apparently since like 2001. By the way, my father's favorite band ever. Shout out
to Dwayne. He doesn't get
Dave
enough
Matthews
shout outs
Band.
on this podcast. Shout out to Dwayne.
And lo and behold, yesterday, they announced that Dave Matthews would be back at Target Center. So I think a lot of Timberwolves fans were honestly disappointed for no reason. I mean, they shouldn't have been expecting new jerseys
from the Target Center.
From the Target Center.
What kind of correlation? Like, there's literally like, it's one of those graphs where it's just like there's no correlation there. Like, I mean, there is a little bit, but out of anyone that would announce the new Timberwolves jerseys, I feel like the Target Center that wouldn't make any sense. And for people that aren't Dave Matthews fans, what is Ants Marching? Because I don't know what it is. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's a song. So I mean, one of his more popular ones. So
How's it go?
I can't sing it on stream here. It's a good song. I don't know. I can't act like I know Dave Matthews Band that well. I know a couple songs. Like, it is what it is. I think it'll be cool. I don't know, but yeah, I think a lot of people. See, this is the issue. I think a lot of fan accounts on Twitter, and if you're watching this, you 100% know who you are. There's a multitude of Timberwolves Instagram pages and fan Twitter accounts that like to spew like all this stuff that is just complete speculation, and they have enough followers where people actually pick up on this stuff and people start spraying speculation. You touched on it last year. I think some of the Timberwolves fan pages just need to get better, man. We can't be running around insulting other teams in the comments too. I'm not a big fan of that. We have been horrific since 1989. What are we gonna go around yelling at Heat fans in the comments and stuff like that? Lakers fans, like, dude, we're terrible. We have nothing to say. We can't. We're not allowed to post any memes in other teams' accounts and stuff.
No, not yet. I mean, we could get there. I hope so, but yeah, man, I think that's a really good point, and that's why, you know, when it's not during the season, I don't spend much time on Timberwolves Twitter. But I do remember that last year being a big thing, and I hope it can get better. But so new jerseys, I mean, what's the talk on that? Are we planning on getting new jerseys this year? Or that's usually an every year thing, right?
Well, yeah, we'll get since we made the playoffs last year, we get an extra jersey, I'm pretty sure. So I think we have a new jersey incoming, and then we also have the rumors are we have a historic jersey coming possibly, and I think everyone's hoping for the Blacks again.
The black trees.
And the black trees. Yeah, misspoke. But I think, did you see any of the Bob or what is it? The concept art of what's his name again? Bob something, the painter. He has the mural.
Ross?
Yeah, so there's a Bob Ross mural in Minneapolis that the concept is based upon. So look up Timberwolves, Bob Ross Timberwolves concept jersey. We'll put it up on the screen for you guys.
No, we won't.
It's honestly honestly horrific.
There's like also a saying that
You see him now?
No way.
Hold on, let me try to find it. Did you find it?
No, I can't pull it up. We can't pull it up on this.
That's fine. Just you guys got to go try to find them. They're mostly on Twitter. I'll try to get a picture here if Peyton talks for a second. Let me work my magic.
I don't know, man. I feel like with Timberwolves fans, like with the jerseys, all you need to do is throw those green trees on there. Well, you can do whatever you want with the rest of the jersey, but just put the green tree trim on there, and everyone would be so happy. Another thing with these new jerseys is last year they sold out on the first day they came out, and they never restocked them. Like, I would have gladly got an Anthony Edwards blue tree jersey, but
they need to do a better job, man. They need to do a better job of stocking these jerseys.
Yeah, but also another thing, if you guys are wanting any Timberwolves jersey in the white edition, I think they're restocked right now on the Timberwolves site. So that's nice. I mean, if I wasn't so broke, I'd probably be getting an Ant jersey.
An Ant jersey would be sick.
You got one, don't you?
I do have one. I have a white one, but I wanted I like the blue one, man. But you can't find them anywhere.
They're all fake. The only ones you see are like the fake ones, and you're like, God, that is so fake. It's not even funny.
Then you just know the people wearing those have a fake jersey on too.
Exactly. You find that? You find it yet?
Oh my gosh, no, I can't find it.
Maybe we'll throw it on our Instagram story at Holwin _@_the_ Mike. No underscore.
Yeah.
We'll throw it up on the story once we find it. Let's get into the next topic, Chris. This is something that, I mean, I don't know if I've really seen many people talk about, but for me, when I first saw this trade with Donovan Mitchell, the first thing I thought was, how does this relate to the Gobert trade? Does the value that they're getting for Donovan Mitchell, does that have anything to do with what we traded for Gobert? And is this the snowball effect starting to come in?
Well, rumor on the street has it.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he does?
Mitchell?
No. What's his face? Brian Windhorst.
Oh,
What
dude.
is going on in Utah?
Dude, he
I
is,
I
he
think
is,
I think they. So I'm not gonna say they directly affected like the trade market for KD, and then obviously, I mean, like the Jazz were gonna blow it up. That's what Danny Ainge did when he took over the Celtics. I mean, he traded KG, Paul Pierce, and now he's doing the same thing with the Jazz. He's trying to get a boatload of picks and trying to hit on some of these picks.
right. Yeah, let's go over the package, I guess. So the Cavaliers sent forward Lauri Markkanen, Ochi.
Ajabo.
No, it's pronounced differently. Is it Hijabi? Hibachi. It's Hibachi. I think so. And okay, so it's the guy from Kansas, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I think it's Hibachi. And then Colin Sexton, 3 unprotected first-round picks, 2 pick swaps. So I mean, you'd say it's around the same value, but they're also getting Colin Sexton, who people from Minnesota know Colin Sexton very well. He embarrassed our whole state when he played 4 against 5, or was it 3 against 5?
Yes, it was 3. I think most. Yeah, it was 3v5,
and he held his own.
Alabama outscored the Gophers during the time it was 3-on-5.
So like funny. That's a guy I would always take on my team. Lauri Markkanen, I feel like he's a guy that the Timberwolves are always in the talks of getting, but he's
originally drafted by the Timberwolves.
Yes, of course. He's got a lot of Minnesota ties.
100%. I think the package was. It's a good package. I mean, so I think it's about the same value as the Gobert trade because we didn't really give up any players, but we had to give up another pick and a pick swap. So I think Colin Sexton kind of accounts for that. Right. Another pick and pick swap. So the packages are about even, but I think the thing that's frustrating is the narrative that like, oh my gosh, the Gobert trade's so bad, but the narrative for the Cavs is like they're title contenders in the East now. Like it's the Rudy Gobert bias, which is fine. I understand. But I think like you can argue with all the flaws in Gobert's game. You can say he has no offensive game and that he's 30, but I will hit you directly back with Donovan Mitchell is a 6'1" shooting guard who is 7 months younger than D'Angelo Russell, who feels like he's been in the league for his entire life. So, I mean, do I think Donovan Mitchell's probably a better player than Gobert? Maybe. But do I think Gobert affected winning more in Utah? 100%.
And let me hit you with this. Is Gobert just a way like I feel like Mitchell's fit in Cleveland compared to Gobert's fit in Minnesota? The fit of Gobert in Minnesota is so much better. Like it's literally the perfect fit. And I don't know. I don't think you can say that about many other players on other teams.
Yeah, I mean Cleveland now. I'm not saying they're not talented because I think they're both really talented in Mitchell and Darius Garland, but they're both really small. So you're having your 1 and 2 guards be 6'1" or less. They're both really small guards, and then you have the issue where I wouldn't say it's an issue, but like Cleveland loves to go huge 3 through 5. So like now that Markkanen's gone, maybe they don't do that anymore. But yeah, I guess you slot in Okoro maybe at the 3. I don't know. I don't. We're not going to know what this Cleveland team's like till we see it. I think the trade's fine. I think both sides got value. But we do know for sure now the Jazz are rebuilding.
Yes, dude. I wanted to bring that up. How many freaking first-round picks are they going to be having in the next 6 years? Like, it's going to be incredible.
A lot, man. And I think another caveat to kind of tie into this is the Knicks, because everyone was saying the Knicks were the front runner for Mitchell here. And I think the Knicks offered RJ Barrett in the package, so we could do this little thing. Like, would you rather have an RJ Barrett-based package with 3 first-round picks or a Colin Sexton package with 3 first-round picks? It's an interesting question.
I feel like most people would go R.J. Barrett. Don't you think?
There's been a lot of RJ love actually after Anthony Edwards, everyone says, took a shot at him in that game, but it was no. I think
What was the shot again? I completely forgot about
it
that.
was like we wanted to force Barrett to take it because Julius Randle was killing us in that
Yeah,
game. And all he said was they wanted Barrett to get it because he was struggling. I mean, I don't know. Knicks fans make something out of it. Knicks fans are the worst. I'm sorry.
Nick fans are worse than some of those Timberwolves Twitter. Um,
We love everyone.
we love everyone. Speaking of R.J. Barrett, let's talk. Let's talk about Jalen Noel's role on. Sorry, I thought my computer was
That was
about to.
quite the segue there. Speaking of RJ Barrett, let's talk about Jalen Noel's role.
Yeah, I think it's something I've really been working on this year, Chris. Is working on my transitions. How can I tie one topic to the other? So,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Noel, what are your realistic expectations for him this year? Because a lot of people just kind of write it off like, oh yeah, Jalen Noel. They say it so casually. Jalen Noel, sixth man of the year candidate. Jalen Noel, like 15 points a game, all this stuff. But they don't look that like last year he had a good season, but it wasn't like he was that big of a factor on our team. Like he was great in garbage minutes, but he never really made an impact, especially in the playoffs. He didn't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like people are just writing him off as the sixth man of the year without like I don't know what's a realistic expectation for him.
I think it's tough. I think there's 100% higher expectations on him this year with the departure of Malik and Pat Bev and Vando. I mean, there's three, role player contributors to last year's team. So I think you have to expect, and you have to expect it out of him that he's going to be a bigger contributor, especially off the bench this year. And I know that's been said by Finch and a couple of the other players that Noel will have a huge role this year. I think you have to expect something more than he was last year. I don't know if sixth man of the year are fair or not expectations. I think he has it in him to do that.
Someday, yeah.
I think he's still really young. What is he, like 23-ish, maybe 23, 24? We'd have to look it up. Don't want to lie to you guys, but he's in that range. I mean, he's still super young. I'm not expecting him to put up Tyler Hero numbers, but I'm
23.
expecting him 23. I'm expecting him to put up like, I don't know. I think 13-ish around there on 45 plus efficient or field goal percentage. I think that would be a good benchmark to try to hit for him. I mean, we're going to need someone off the bench to score double digits, so it might as well be him. Nas hit double digits last year, didn't he? He was 10 or 11 points per game. So, I mean, I think it's a fairly real expectation for Jalen Noel to do about the same and a little bit.
Yeah, and I think what people are also forgetting is that it's not like we lost Beasley, Pat Bev, Vando, didn't get anything back. Like we've rebuilt our bench with other guys that are able to score. I hope Austin Rivers can play some minutes, get some points, Kyle Anderson. But yeah, I think that definitely sixth man of the year is out. I do not think Jalen Noel will be the sixth man of the year. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't put any money on that. I think maybe in the next 3 to 4 years, I think he could have a pretty good shot at that if he's not starting somewhere. I think that's really the only thing that is in his way. But yeah, I'm thinking around like 12 points. He's a special player. And the thing that makes him so special to me is that he can score at any time, no matter who's on the court, no matter who's guarding him. He's a bucket getter. He's got, as someone would say, Chris, he's got the dog in him. And he can.
Got that dog in him.
He's got that dog in him. He can just score whenever you want, and so that's very important to have on a team. I don't know how he would fit in with like the starters if we put him in with the starters because there's a lot of guys that can do that also need the ball in their hands. So that's kind of my expectations for him around that 12 point per game, maybe have a few 20-point games here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you also have to throw in the name Bryn Forbes too. I think it's a name not a lot of people are looking at right now. But I think he's a player that will get a lot more run than people think. I think Bryn Forbes is, especially with the departure of Malik, I think he's going to kind of turn into that high-volume three-point shooter off the bench, which could be good, could be bad. I don't know. He shot above 40% in his career before. So we're going to need some three-point shooting. I mean, the starting lineup, besides Cat, I mean, their strength is not 3-point shooting. And
No.
I think we've kind of gone away a little bit from fully spaced out under Gerson and Sondi, but I think Finchie is a bit more creative in what we're going to be able to do this year. So I don't expect us to take as many threes as last year. I don't think we'll need that type of shot production from the 3-point line because I think Cat will hopefully take over. I want Cat to take over 10 a game. Is that crazy? Maybe, but he's so good at it. Like, let's just give that a try.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jalen Noel is one of those guys you definitely have to watch out for this year. I feel like the national media is gonna learn a little bit about Jalen Noel.
100%.
So I feel like this guy in the national media is always one of the biggest name free agents, and I always feel like he is a free agent. It's really a weird thing where I feel like he's never on a team, and he's always wanting to be on a team. And every team thinks that they can get DeMarcus Cousins. Like, it's always like every single team is like, oh yeah, we're gonna get DeMarcus Cousins. So I read an article by Dunking with Wolves, and they were talking about the Wolves' chances at getting DeMarcus Cousins if the fit's there, if he would want to come here, and all these things. What do you think the Wolves' chances are, Chris, on landing DeMarcus Cousins?
I think the chances on landing him if they wanted to are 90% and above. I think realistically, what can fans expect? I think less than 30% in my opinion. And let me say here's why.
All right, I'll let you.
So you already have two bigs in your starting lineup. You already have two 7-footers. Actually, Gobert's like 7'3", I think 7'2", 7'3".
Yeah.
So you have two 7-footers already in the starting lineup. You have Naz Reid as your backup center slated at the moment. You brought in Luka Garza on a training camp contract to compete for that spot. So you're already looking at 4 centers here on the rostered at the moment. I mean, do you want to bring in another center to compete? I don't think DeMarcus Cousins would want to compete. I think he'd want a decent amount of change. And he'd want to know that he's either a starter or a highly valued role player. So I think the chances in this scenario are probably pretty low.
Yeah, and I also, so if he wanted to be a starter, I think unless there is a major injury with this Timberwolves team, I would say there's 0% chance he would ever even have a chance at starting a game because our center, we have 2 centers that we're already starting in our lineup, and that's already kind of a stretch starting 2 centers. So he had no chance at starting. Did he say in a press conference that he wants to play for Mike Conley?
Tim Conley?
No,
so Tim was doing some radio, and then DeMarcus Cousins walked by at Summer League, and he said, call me. And Tim said, all right, I will. But I think DeMarcus just played for Tim in Denver. So there's a connection there.
It's Wolves Twitter blowing it out of proportion. Is that kind of what we're saying?
Yeah. It 100% is. I think DeMarcus is that guy that's not going to be signed by a team until someone's center goes down, like you said, and he'll be signed to come on in and bolster a room somewhere. So, I mean, hopefully we don't need DeMarcus,
he's going to make a splash right when he gets signed, like have a 20 and 10 point game, blah, blah, blah. And then
he was pretty decent. He was decent last year, actually. I'll give him that. He was a pretty decent contributor when the Bucks had some injuries to Robin Lopez, or not Robin Lopez. What was it? Robin Lopez? Brooke Lopez. Then he was with the Nuggets last year. Was he with another team? I don't know.
Was he with Milwaukee last year?
He was. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
You should see the picture I got up right now. See, we got to figure out how you can see my screen. We got the picture of him and Gideon.
Yeah. You got that connection too, I guess, because Cat and Gideon are boys now, and then you got DeMarcus. Hey, Gideon cut his hair at the U.S. Open. I don't know if you saw that. Bringing it from that was kind of a Target Center thing, and now it's branching out. I think the Wolves are getting a lot more traction from celebrities. Like I think we got some new people that are into the Wolves now because you got people that game with Cat. You got the Jordan Woods connection with Cat.
Yep. Got the Anthony Electric movie star.
Yeah, you got Ant's I mean, what's his agent's name? The guy that represents like he's with the Rich Paul fam now, so he's got like he's boys with like Trey Young and all the huge players, LeBron. So I mean,
Right.
the Wolves are being put on the map a little bit here now.
And we have the most boring superstar in the league, Rudy
That
Gobert.
is true. That is true. So,
But yeah, and
that.
D'Lo seems like he's in on like a lot of like, I don't know. He seems like he's friends with a lot of people that you wouldn't expect him to be friends with.
He's been doing his media rounds lately too. I was gonna say we could try to get D'Lo on. I could try to work some magic.
Why aren't you, man? Why do you just do it? Work some
Shoot him a
magic.
DM.
Dude, if we get D'Lo on this show, I don't even know what we would talk about or how it would go, but I think it would be electric.
Talk about life, honestly.
It'd be more like a Joe Rogan sit down.
Yeah, I don't think we could talk about playing last year.
No,
We'll leave that for another. We'll leave that for just us.
Yeah, I think that would be. I don't think that'd be appropriate. All right, Chris. Since we're talking about just talking about life, and what is success? that is what you sent me, and that's what I put on the ticker.
Yeah.
So
what I meant is what does a successful season for the Wolves?
I'm kidding. That's what you wrote. That is exactly
Yeah.
what you wrote. I just wrote what's success because it was a long ass thing.
Yeah.
I only got about an inch.
So I think this, again, kind of ties into Wolves Twitter. I feel like a lot of people are putting unrealistic expectations on this team for the first season with this crew together. I think there's going to be the first 20 to 30 games. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. They're going to get it together. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think for this first season here, I think success for this season would be represented as winning a playoff series. I think that should be the realistic expectations for fans, and that should be successful in the Wolves' eyes and in their fans' eyes. I think anything more is a cherry on top. That's just going above and beyond. I think anything less than a playoff series win, I think is a little disappointing because I think you were on the verge of doing that last year, and you gotta keep climbing the mountain. You can't have any valleys on the climb here. You got to keep going up, man. You put the chips in. Let's try to make realistic expectations, but let's always keep it going forward. So.
Yeah, it's funny. That's honestly when I was thinking of what success is to me. I thought the same thing. So I think we have to win a playoff series. I don't want it to go to Game 7. I want to win it in 5 or 6, kind of a commanding playoff series win. If we can win it,
you can tell they're the better team type.
Yes.
Type series.
Well, maybe we let it go to 6, but the Wolves should have won that. And then I think for the second round, not just make it, but kind of have it be the equivalent to what our playoff series was like last year. So Wolves are in the second round. They're
competitive.
They're clearly not the best team, but they should be winning these. They're putting themselves in situations to win the games. Maybe they're not ready there yet to actually win them. But
I think, if I may jut in for 1 second, I think a perfect comparison would be the Mavericks last year. I think they win that first round series against, what the Mavericks had, Utah. They beat Utah, and then they went and they kind of made a statement to Phoenix in Game 7. I think that's kind of a perfect comp to where this team could hopefully go this year.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are saying Western Conference Finals are bust. But they're not understanding the bigger picture, man. This is a 4-year plan. This is when you get your 10-year plan up there, yeah, this is a 4-year plan. Whoa, calm down. This is not. We do not need. If we don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, I don't think anyone could be upset at all. I think we need. And what you were talking about earlier, man. I think the beginning of the season is going to be rough. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we're all going to be kind of disappointed in how the season starts. I think it's going to take some time. It always does.
Little 8-8 start, and then they kind of figure out how to play with each other type bit.
Yes, that's what's going to happen, man. Our core guys know how to play with each other, yes, but you're bringing in a lot of new faces. Last year, did we have anywhere close to this many new faces at the start of the season?
No, it was like the same team pretty much.
And we still struggled at the beginning of the season. That's what I'm it's going to take some time. And Wolves Twitter, which me and you obviously we love Wolves Twitter, they're gonna eat this team up. People are gonna be jumping ship, and it's gonna be.
And that's exactly why I think we did a good job of it last year, to an extent. I think there were times where we didn't, but I think we were on the train of don't get too high, don't get too low. I mean, there is 82 games in a season for a reason.
It's hard. It's really hard
It's hard.
to cover a team for an 82 game season. I think last year was our first year that we attempted to cover the team the whole season, and we couldn't do it. I mean, we failed miserably. Towards the end of the season, we couldn't even talk Wolves. We were so done.
It's tough. That's what I'm saying. You got to just it's a game of it's going to be a game of highs and lows throughout any season. Even the 2016 Warriors had the highest of highs getting the regular season record and the lowest of lows blowing a 3-1 lead. And they were considered the best regular they were considered are they considered the best team ever? Can we say one of the best teams ever?
Oh,
and they still had a terrible low in their season. So I mean, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. You just got to look at that set goal at the beginning of the season. Did they accomplish this? If they did, you got to look back at what you said at the beginning of the season. Anything else? Like I said, cherry on top. That's awesome.
Cherry on top, or it's time to say, hey, maybe that wasn't a successful season. And even if it is not a successful season, based on these expectations that we're setting, it's not the end of the world. Again, it's a 4-year plan. If you have a tough first season, it doesn't matter. You look at what went wrong, what mistakes we had with our roster, and you fix it, and you come back again. And there's no way we should jump ship after this season.
I think a good example from last year is I remember our kind of, I don't know if we said it, what it defined it, success or whatever, but our goal for the team was to make the play-in, and they didn't just make the play-in, they won their first play-in game to make the playoffs as a 7th seed and went and competed with one of the, best teams in the NBA. And I think it sucks the way it ended, but that was a successful season for that Timberwolves team. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, that was one of the, and we never really got to talk about it, man. We never got to, and that's something I regret deeply, is that we didn't take time to like come back and just like say like, wow, that was a great season. Or like we never got to like say, hey, congrats to the Wolves. Like we just kind of quit and we just put away for the year. But hey, that's all right, Chris. I think it's time to read some comments. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna do this at the end of every episode, but we have a decent amount of people tuning in concurrently, and we got a lot of comments. So let's take some time to talk to everyone. So Swifty Zay, also known as King Physique, says, what's good? 2K is so bad. So these are going to be in order of what's going on. Aaron Johnson says, you guys been? And I think he means, where you guys been? Chris, do you want to answer that real quick?
Yeah, I mean, we've been here. Hey, we've been here for like a couple weeks now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're back like we never left. Let's focus on the future.
Yeah, we covered it before. We covered it. Paul Hamblin, Hudson, he says, H-Town boys represent. How you boys doing these days? Paul, I'm doing fantastic. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy with the new setup, happy with the new name, everything. It just feels great. We're revived. Timberwolves are revived. I hope you're doing well. And he also says, pumped for the season, big time. You guys trying to do some more streams during the games? I really enjoyed the couple I was able to join. Chris, what do you think?
100%. I think that was Peyton and I's plan. Again, I think we're going to try to stick with the two types of content a week, and then if there's a big game, I think we could figure out a way to get those streams out for the big games. I think those are fun.
The streams are a lot of work, a lot of time, but I think those are probably my favorite thing that we do. Like, those are so electric and they're so much fun. Like, it's fun because you really watch the game and you're really invested in the game, and I love doing that. You feel like you're watching it with just this huge group of people.
Yeah.
I am Timberwolves fan, says, if Jalen wants to be good for us, he needs to stop sucking on defense. Not a single Minnesota sports fan should get high expectations. This guy's just, he says it. He says it how it is. And then King Physique says, Rudy's been balling in France. I hate how the media only shows Rudy getting cooked.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched any of the French stuff, but I've watched a couple games. Luka scored like 49, I think, today against France. It was pretty sick. But those guys take that Europe Cup like super seriously,
which is awesome for the game.
Everyone plays in that. like you can't not let him play for the country, but like you see what happened with Danilo Gallinari, tore his ACL in that tournament, but like it's 100% worth it. Those people care, the players care. It's such a sick tournament. I don't watch it live because they're at the weirdest times and we have stuff going on, but I go back and watch the YouTube highlights of at least France usually. And we could talk about it more next time, but France is using Rudy in some really weird ways, and I don't think it's working too well, but we'll touch on that next time.
Yeah, but I think that's so great for the game of basketball that like these players are so passionate about their countries and like it's expanding the game worldwide, and I love that.
For sure.
Let's get one more comment here from Paul. He said, "Love it. Understand it's not easy, but just so you know, I have really liked those game streams. Gotta run. All the best. We'll touch base again as we get closer to the season." Paul, I think you said it perfectly. Chris, I think this is time to sign out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy. We'll talk to you guys for sure next week. Have a great rest of your week, and see you guys later.